Shout out to Let's Talk, trending hot topic. Shout out there. Young brother really putting out a lot of great content. Please, please, please go subscribe to his channel. Young brother is doing things.
I don't know what that was about. Well, what's going on, y'all? Peace, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy, Let's Talk. We back with another video. So pretty much we gonna be on here talking about this whole debacle going on with JustPearlyThings and all the men online, all the black men, the proud black men who's buck dancing for this girl. So I made a video yesterday, kind of just summing everything up that's been happening thus far. I didn't really put all the details in it, but the overall bulk, what everyone, kind of know is in there. So if y'all want to check that out, y'all can go check that out on my page. But I want to reiterate this. I said this in my previous video, and I want to say it again. My beef, my plight, my disagreement, it's not necessarily with Pearly. It's not like she, killed the black man and all that stuff. So it's not really with her, even though she did some corny stuff and she's continuously doing some corny stuff now, but it's not necessarily with her. My whole situation is kind of what the title of this video entails, because for some strange reason, all of a sudden you got like a whole bunch of men just like defending this girl, and it's crazy. And it kind of reminded me of this book I was reading a couple years back, where it was just kind of just going in on the conditioning of black people, mainly in this country. I mean, you got it in the UK, where they kind of domesticated this at. That's where the conditioning goes, but it goes in depths of talking about why black people feel the need to defend white people versus defending ourselves. And like when you read that book, it's crazy because everything that it was talking about, like you see it today, it's like she's some poor helpless white girl that needs our defense. And it's not even just with the females either. Like it happens with the white men as well. It's just a something that's embedded in our DNA. That's what they say. Because obviously we weren't born during the times of slavery and everything, but the conditioning has been so ingrained with our people that we just naturally just gravitate towards them. That's why a lot of people, you ever notice when black people get money, they think doing better is being around white people. And I'm not exempt. Like I can keep it funky with you. I like talking about accountability, being accountable. So I gotta keep it real with you. I was one of those people as well. And during my time of working, going to school, living, just being around a whole bunch of just Caucasians, it just made me realize, like don't believe the hype. It's not what you think it is. Now, do I get on my peoples as far as like we need to get our shit together and do better? Yeah, but one thing's for sure, two things are certain. I would rather be around my own people than any other ethnic group in the world. Like that's real, and it took experience, me just living life. But back to this issue. So I'm seeing men, and a lot of these guys is supposed to be like in the Manosphere. Not all of them, but you got a few of them in the Manosphere. Now, I want to say this first and foremost. Not every guy that I see in the black manosphere is rocking with her. I see several guys that's coming out and you know saying a little part as far as like the corny stuff that Pearl is doing. One person that I seen was O'Shea Jackson. Another person was MTR Mediocre Tutor Reviews. I wouldn't really call Beautiful Lies in the manosphere, but um, he coming out and he doing his part. It's funny though because like MTR and the rest of them, they was like kind of defending her, or I won't say defending her, but they was kind of like rocking with her just a few weeks ago before all this stuff happened and everything, and now all this stuff going on. So, but I said this in my previous video. Kudos to them because at least they not on no money grab type stuff. Like, all right, I see what she doing, but fuck it, I'ma keep rocking with her because she got a huge platform, and if I continue to rock out with her, then I'm gonna grow my shit. So, because you got dudes out there that's doing that right now. Um, one of the guys I see, what's his name again? And this is no knock on this, but I'm just calling shit out from what I see. What's the boy name? Oh God, the dark skinned boy with the glasses. Um, damn man, the dude that be on the Lapeef network. I forget his damn name. Uh, yeah, Anton Daniels. I think that's his name. Yeah, like I've been seeing several videos with him and her going back and forth live streaming and everything, and some of the videos that I've seen, it seemed like he even coming at Sour Garvey, like he defended her against Sour Garvey, like he like some of them videos and the titles and everything. I don't know if it's just clickbait or whatever, but it seemed like he like yeah, is he lying? Is he doing all this for all this? And I'm like, bro, like one, everything that I've seen of the guy Sour Garvey, and I seen a few before all this stuff happened. Like I wasn't a follower of him, but I seen a few videos of him not on YouTube. I'm on TikTok as well, and I'm kind of bigger on TikTok than I am here on YouTube, and I see a lot of and I do like a lot of pro black stuff, so I see a lot of stuff with him on there, and I've never seen like no ill will towards people of color, and that's in the UK or Africa or America, wherever. So I'm like, well, why you just coming at my man like that? Like he's never shown any like malice towards people. Like from everything that I can gather of him, is more of black people trying to build up and uplift black men. Like, and that's the older I get, the more I like stuff like that because I realize I'm more on that type of time as well. And this is not to say if you cool with Pearl, like this her or whatever, because like I said, I really ain't got no real. I might make a separate video about that with her because it's not necessarily her. The issue is just with that the people like her in the mind frame of thinking. Like that's really the issue. I believe that's really what most people issue is. Like I don't think everyone started off believing that because she did the interview with Nick Fuentes that like oh my god, all right, fuck Pearl, she's a racist now. Like I don't think that was the initial outcry. I believe that the insensitivity, the nonchalantness, that act like you don't know when you well aware of what you're doing. I think that's the part where people are really getting upset with her about. And had she just apologized and everything and let it be, let it cool off, let it blow off. I think she wouldn't be getting as much heat as she is now. But then she go on lead attorney like live stream like early in wee hours in the morning and talking to him and talking about everything is part of a bigger plan. And she telling fans in the chats that she didn't necessarily say she was sorry. So it's like things like that. But like, forget that. That's really kind of petty and corny. Really, my beef with her is the stuff that she's doing now to the different content creators because of people who disagree with her. Like my girl, Danica Murray. Like, if y'all don't know, I ain't even gonna say that because I'm sure y'all everybody know who Danica is. But I've been following that girl for a good time now, and I've always showed videos about her to like a couple of my homies, my brothers, and everybody. Like, yo, this girl be on top of it. Like, and I just seen a live stream of hers, and my girl Courtney Michelle, where they saying that she flagging Danica's videos, whatever. And when I went to the Nika live stream, she basically was saying that, and she showed that like how you gotta. It's one of them situations where the video is still on there, but you gotta like, you can't be one of them people who just go on YouTube and just watch it. You gotta like log in, do your birthday, your social security, like you gotta do all this information to be able to watch that video. And I think those are one of the type of videos that you don't get much ad revenue on as well. So it's like, all right, you got that, and you got mainly what she doing to Sour Garvey. Like, if he don't take these precautions that a lot of people is telling him to take, then his channel gone in like 4 days. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm hoping that he's seen that video. I seen a couple of people making videos, but last night I was watching the video with a guy, Philip Scott, and I was watching a video where he was telling Salgari what to do in these type of situations because that happened to him. Like, because this whole situation is kind of similar to what just recently happened last year with the whole Fresh and Fit situation when Fresh and Fit was trying to strike everybody channels. They did Albert and Preach. I think they did like Sneeko and them and a couple of other like big content creators, and it went back on them. It backfired because they was just abusing the copyright systems, and everyone came together and told um like Albert and Preach and everybody else what to do, and they did it. And then come to find out, YouTube was about to take down Fresh and Fit's channel because of them, abusing the copyright system. And this whole situation is kind of similar, the same thing. So he may have a chance of keeping his channel if he take those same type of precautions. And just to be petty, whomever video she may reacted to, um, I believe she did videos on Kevin Samuels. It's complicated. Like, a lot of those people, they can strike her. like if people wanted to be petty. Now, I'm not one to stop nobody money flow. I mean, regardless to what they doing. Like, I think that's corny. But I mean, if people was going to do that, that's what they would do. Um, I wouldn't do it. You know what? If she did it to me, I probably would be petty and do it to her. But I wouldn't just do it because I'm mad at her. Like, no, that's corny. But yeah, this is that's that. But you got these guys on here, and the messed up part about it is, uh, which I'm kind of surprised because my man Obsidian, he like he like going nail and teeth for this girl. He on everyone live and podcast and everything. He doing his own, and he doing the same thing that the dude Anton Daniels doing, like, and making excuses for him. Like he was on uh he was on Shaz Sade live stream, and shout out to Shaz Sade. I've been following her for a while too, and he was just like making excuse after excuse after excuse um on that live stream for old Miss Ann. It's like, and when the brothers was calling, and even on his live stream when he was calling and challenge him on it, it's like you're getting upset with them. Then you get rhetorical, or he was being like real condescending, and I've noticed a lot of people get that way, when they realize that, like, all right, shit, I probably was doing some nut stuff, and someone called me out on it, like, so, and they realize they really don't have like no legitimate, logical pushback. So that's when the whole condescending things come out and everything, and it's just like, man, that's crazy. Now, this is not to say that I don't rock with everything that Obsidian says it does, because he been a pioneer for a lot of black men for years now. Him and I know a lot of y'all don't like him, but Tommy Sotomayor, like, I look at Tommy and Obsidian like the first two who was like in this sector. They on two opposite ends of the spectrum, but they was like the two OGs in this sector. But he on some bullshit with this. Obsidian, as far as this whole just pearly things, yeah, I gotta call a spade a spade. He tap dancing real hard. Them shoes, um, them penny loafers he got on, like, he running them things down, because I don't think is no real reason to rock out like that. And then you got some guys even arguing with the sisters, like Six Goddess and Danica Marie and everyone. You got people getting mad at them because they calling it out, and it's like, how jealous can you be? That when people that seem like the response to everything. When people say, "Oh, you just jealous," like, jealousy may be a thing. Yes, jealousy is a thing in the world, but everyone isn't jealous. Why can't people just call out bullshit? Like, I don't get that. Like, if it's bullshit, it's bullshit. It just is. Everyone ain't jealous. It's just that. But again, it's that whole slave mentalities, that conditioned mindset. That's something that a lot of us got to get out. And I've been kind of blessed about that, because as far as back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster. Like, no, but as far as back as I can remember, I've um I've always noticed that I had like a different mind frame than like my surroundings, my peers, even the people that was older than me and everything. I've always, I guess you would call it a old soul, but I think it's more to it than that. I think deeper than that. Um, like, I've yeah, of course, you're young, you get influenced by certain things, but I've never been like influenced, by people words or actions and everything. I've always second guess things, especially if it seems like some BS, even if it comes from the person that you supposed to believe and trust and think that they got all the answers and all that stuff. Like, if my heart, my my intuition, whatever it is, if I had, like, if my spider senses start tingling, then that shit just gonna tingle, and I'm gonna question things. I've always been that, and now that I'm in my 30s now, I realized that was a good attribute that I possess, because I see so many people around me just influenced by just everything, by what they see on TV, what they hear by different people and everything. It's crazy, and it's like that is whatever the influence is. That's the end all of be all of the whole situation, and like shit like that is scary, because like that's how you get the Charles Mansons of the world, and the, these type of cult leaders who can just say certain words and do certain things, and make you believe in them, and people just go for it. These people ain't got no damn mind of their own. And maybe, like, I'm not gonna say maybe, because the conditioning is real, and it's not our fault as people. You got people you just got wicked people in certain positions in power and authority in the world, and they got a plan for us lesser beings, because that's how they look at us. But that's what I was talking about, like the whole influence thing, because you got to come out of that. Like you got to start thinking individually, and come, like, a lot of things that I think about, it'd be hard for me to say in words, because I'd be so passionate about it, and I can't really get everything out. But just bear with me. It's this old analogy that I'm gonna say. It may not make sense to some of y'all. Some it may do. I'm hoping that it makes sense. But um, I remember hearing someone say, like, most people, it's two type of people in the world, and you got majority of one side. Most people are robots. Um, and then you got aliens. Robots are, of course, robots. They do what they're told. They're programmed. They they walk in a straight line. They turn left. They turn right. They do everything that's been programmed for them to do. But then you got aliens, whereas though they're unpredictable. They're like, they don't go with the program or whatever. And I remember hearing that analogy, like, maybe like 15 years ago. And I kind of thought it was weird hearing that, but that shit makes so much sense to me now, because, like, I feel like I'm a fucking alien in a world full of robots, because it, everyone thinks the same. And you got these dudes online who supposed to be men, like, doing the same fucking thing. And it's crazy. And it be making me wonder, um, you know, may he rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, but if all this stuff is going down right now, if he been alive, and everything that's transpiring right now, like, what would be his take on it? What would be his opinion on this whole situation? I'm kind of leaning towards that he might try to stay neutral, because, like, before he was passing, he was like, because he was getting so big, he didn't want to get in beefs and stuff. Like, it was kind of, you know beneath him, if you will. Um, uh, at least he wasn't doing it publicly anyway. I mean, maybe behind the scenes, but he wasn't doing that shit publicly. But I remember him a few times. I remember specifically, some maybe one of the first white girls who called on to his show, and she started speaking about black women. And the moment she started saying something about black girls, he cut her right off and was like, "Oh, like, you don't do that." Like, and I was kind of I was surprised and proud at the same time that he did that, because I was surprised, because not that I wouldn't do, because that's what I do, but I was surprised that he did that, because I didn't think that he, because so many black people, they don't like care, and he, nipped that shit in the bud right in the beginning, like, hold up, no, like, this my people, we got issues and everything, but I'm gonna talk about it. Like, if you're gonna be on my show, and it's so funny because shout out to my Kevin Samuels fans group. If y'all on Facebook, y'all can go follow my Kevin Samuels fans group. I got like the biggest, because y'all know, I don't know if y'all know, but Kevin Samuels fans, these groups on Facebook, they like real popular, and I'm the admin of a few of them, and I have like the largest group on Facebook with like, I don't know how many people in this. It's a lot. It's tens of thousands of people. But um, like I said, these groups are popular on Facebook, and you got all walks of life, people from all around the world, all ethnic groups come inside there. And what I've noticed is you got groups that's non-melanin coming into our conversation, talking about us, you know, giving their opinions about our relationships and the things that we do, our men, our women, and stuff. And it's like, I do the same thing that Kev do. I nip that shit in the butt. Like, no, you don't do that. Like, everyone is welcome. Like, I welcome everyone. But if you're gonna come inside here and you're gonna talk grife, you talk grife about your people, not mine. Like, this is not what we do. We're not gonna do that. And then the reason why I bring all that up, because it's relative to this whole conversation. Because that's the reason why certain, Caucasian persuasion people feel comfortable about doing certain things and saying certain things, and going about things certain ways, because you got people of the melanin community who feel as though, because what they can sing a R&B song, maybe your white coworker, your white friend know a rap lyric, maybe they know how to, like I said before, like fry some chicken or bake macaroni and cheese, some shit like that. So it's like, all right, they cool. All right, we give them a pass. And I hear that from so many brothers and sisters that gets on my damn nerves. And I've realized that I believe we are the only community that does that, because I've never seen an Asian person tell a non-Asian that they're so cool that they can say the N word, or not the N word, but what's the derogatory word for Chinese people? When people call them like chinks or whatever, like something like that, like or um, I've never heard a group of white people tell a non-white person, say that you're so cool that you can call us crackers, or just y'all get what I'm saying. But we're the only ones that do that. Why? I mean, I know why. It's the brainwash, it's conditioning. But if we've been quote unquote free, and I say quote unquote for a reason, because you get where I'm going with it. But if we've been quote unquote free for uh essentially decades now, because although Lincoln freed the slaves in 1863, uh, I look at slavery still was going on up in, at least until um, the desegregation period. So that's only been about 50, 60 years. So we got, we do got some decades now, um, half a century at least, of some type of freedom. Like, why are we trying to change? Like do better. I've that shit boggles me, bro. Like it it truly does. And, oh man. And I think some of these guys trolling though. I mean, to keep it funky with you, because one, it's a hot topic. We know this. Um, so it's money in it for a lot of people, and if it's not money, it's recognition and notoriety. It's all gain. Like is there's nothing um that's like really bad that can come out of constantly keep make unless you like maybe do some copyright stuff. But other than that, so I get it. But it seemed like some of these guys are trying to make other guys or other people mad. Cause it's like, all right, bro, it's no reason why you should be caping for this chick that hard. Like what you being smart? like like that's something that I would say. Hey, what you being smart? What you? Cause like you caping for this chick real hard. But I mean, look, that's how they be. I'm hoping y'all can hear this. I want to play this this little audio of of my girl Shad Sade and the OG Obsidian, who's now tap dancing for Pearly. And I'm like I said, I'm kind of disappointed because Obsidian, he is the OG, but he tap dancing like a motherfucker on this. Real talk. Uh, like it is what it is. Let me see. Hold on.
Q, legendary rapper and activist and actor and director, wants to do something for black people under a political framework that he spent a lot of time and money to do. Black women on Fox Soul says, well, what about us? And they demanded a separate section be carved out just to address black women. The point is, I could go on. Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, nearly 30 years ago, has the Million Man March. Black women say, what about us? It's like every time something goes on that black women feel left out of, they have to insert themselves into the situation. All
right, I'm gonna pause it right there real fast because that was kind of important what he said. And like I said, he been on his game for years, and a lot of the shit that he do say, I agree with. Um, I don't agree with this nut stuff about how he caping for Pearl, but majority a lot of other stuff he say is true, and what he just said about that is true. But I just had epiphany right now listening to it because it's like he's not the only one who just recently like brought that like that scenario up just recently on this whole Pearly thing. So it's kind of like, all right, and and I'm going off of what he's saying, what I hear Anton and a couple of other people saying, and a lot of the people in my Facebook groups, like what they saying in the comment sections and all that stuff. And it's like, so y'all mad at black women that bad? Because that's what it sounds like. It's like, all right, y'all furious with black chicks. So it's like, all right, because black woman this, black woman that, which I totally agree. We're gonna go over here and do this. We're gonna go overseas and mess with some Philippines and Thailands and all that. I'm a cape behind this Pearl chick because she represents everything that you're not. And like I said, that shit like that boggles me because although I agree with what he been saying and a lot of the people in the manosphere say about, you know, modern women. You know, I'm black, so I like to keep it closer to home. You know, black women over here in the States. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I don't have such a disdain towards my people, whereas though, although I don't like the stuff that we do, all the stuff that goes on, and yes, they be doing some nut shit. Yes, wholeheartedly, I agree. But I love my people. I'm gonna be for my people, um, before anything. And it's sad that other people don't think that way. You know, some people who have been so hurt, so let down that they just like fuck it. And I don't totally blame people. Like this is not a knock and diss towards them and everything. Like I'm just not like that. You know, like, and I thought I was. Like it kind of goes back to earlier what I was saying about me, you know, being around a bunch of white people, um, and like in my 20s and all that stuff. Like when I was in college and everything, and working and thinking that it was going to be better being from in the hood and shit, and it wasn't. So like, but everyone experience is different. I understand that. I know that. So that is a major component, and uh, I realize that, and I gotta respect that. But at the same time, like, love your people, because at the end of the day, there's not a lot of other races gonna love you than your own people. I mean, you got exceptions, but like that old saying goes, the exception don't change the rule. And um, we just gotta get out this self hatred, and I think that's mostly what it is. I think that's why you got so many people doing it, because either knowing willingly or unwillingly, maybe it's subliminal. There's like a deep in depth hatred. Like we really got a hatred towards this. You ever notice how like, you know, black guys or whatever, black people, they may be like real comfortable, you know, being around like a Asian guy, white guy, whatever. But soon as that same black guy come across another black guy, it's like we both gotta, you know, um, be sit up firm, be attentive, straight. We can't look pussy, all that stuff. Like that shit is not accident. That's by design. And people don't even realize that they do that. I bet you they don't. But it's just a natural reflex because, again, like I said earlier, it's something that's deep embedded inside us to hate one another like that. Like when you think about this stuff, like stuff like this be making me be wanting to become like a scientist, or you know, someone who like really analyze this stuff, because it's mind blowing. It truly is. But all in all, the whole thing with Pearl, it's gonna be some. I was hoping that uh like, all right, this stuff going to die down, you know, especially like after the 7 day mark. You like, all right, it's going to die down. but it's like more stuff coming out in the woodworks, more stuff being revealed. Um, and like I mentioned, she's doing more stuff, and like I think that's where the thing is. Why it's not ending, because the actions that she's taking. It's not really because like, you're a big YouTuber, so people gonna make videos about you. They're gonna put your name and stuff, so you know they channels and videos can go through the algorithm. So that's life. You gotta ignore that, boo. You big enough should be able to do that. You know what I mean? People like Kev ignore it and all that stuff. Like just ignored it, but she can't ignore it, and it's not surprising. Um, it ain't got nothing to do with race. It's just she's a female, and a lot of y'all females, y'all can't ignore stuff. And that may be her Achilles heel, because, like I said, these strikes or whatever, all it did was just open people's eyes. So it's like, oh, okay. And like I mentioned earlier, like it really ain't got nothing to do with racist stuff. It like I'm not even putting that into the equation. Is you being just petty, being corny, and being wicked, and people can just see like your true self, and that goes for any race. Because I see the same thing for melanin people too. Like wickedness is wickedness, and I've noticed I've been saying that word a whole lot lately these past I guess 3 years since the you know what started. Um so yeah, she wicked, and what sane content creator in their right mind will want to work with her now, in fear of her, could possibly do the same thing if y'all have like a disagreement or something like that. So I mean, in one way, it's good because it show everyone who she truly is, but in another term, it's bad because you got someone who channel might be going in 4 days, and my man been on. I don't know if he had his channel for that long, but his account Sawagari has been active since 2007, like around like a couple years, like when YouTube first started. Um, and just finally made over 100,000 subscribers due to this whole controversy stuff, but nonetheless finally made over 100,000 subscribers, and it can all be going in 4 days. Like that's crazy, and I think that's the issue. For me, that's the. Then of course, like I said, with Danica Marie and everyone else, it's just corny, man. And the fact that, all right, forget the whole Nick Fuentes stuff. You can defend her on that. Like I probably wouldn't, but if I was like talking to someone about it and we having a debate, you might have some strong points or whatever. Because I can even admit, when she said, well, she's really into this for the money. Like it's not like her heart is really into it. It's not like she really care. I mean, she could care or whatever. I mean, if she's a human being, she could, but her overall motive is about revenue. It's about money. Kind of just like Vlad TV, and you got the Adam 22s with no jumper and everything. Like maybe she's trying to go that route, like with the value team and everything, having controversial figures on her show for shock value and all that stuff. So, um, there's an argument with that, like that some people could have a point about that, and it's like, all right, cool. Me, I would probably like, all right, that's cool. But like I said, everything that's happening after that. the strikes, the threats, all this stuff. Like, then you're going on everyone channel who's opposing against the people who's opposing you. I mean, I guess that's common sense, but it's not a good look to all the fans, because some of the people who's opposing you still like you. They just don't like some of this stuff. But when you just keep pouring more oil in the fire, you're just making it bigger and bigger. And that's really where the divide gonna come in at, because now you're just gonna have like truly a division where black people are not gonna like you, most of them anyway, and white people are gonna be rocking with you. Like that's all I really see out of this outcome, for real, for real. You got people who are unsubscribing to content creators because in defense of you, and then you got people who are subscribing um to those same people because they calling you out. So it's that's what, like I said this before a couple, like a year or so ago on this channel one time, because someone was saying something about that, and it was like, you don't realize that subscribers really don't get you the revenues, the views, and then a lot of times for everyone that subscribes, it's like two or three more who for everyone that unsubscribe, it's like two or three more who subscribe. And if you got a real big channel, them numbers like amplify exponentially. So um I never really got that when people you know make that like a issue or whatever. But I'm tired. I've been out all day. I ain't really want to be too long on this. I just had to make this little video. I wanted to say that. I wanted to call out uh the foolery, the tap dancing that I see, that I've been seeing, and I'm sure I'm still going. I bet you, because I'm about to go to bed. I got a headache. Um, Laura Willing, I wake up in the morning. I bet you I'm gonna see some more tap dancing videos from these same people and everything. Doing these collaborations, and if you notice that, like Anton, he done did more collaborations with Pearl in the last 24 hours than fucking um China collaborated with the US in the last 50 years. like it seems like every video he putting out, he got the girl Pearl on there. I'm like, these muffs. But it is what it is. I'm about to get out of here, guys, because I got a nice little headache and I'm tired, and I need to get some rest. But that's all I got. I'll holler at y'all. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, and the bell, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.